Well, the rabbit is out of the hat because the Capcom timer reveal has been revealed. And as it turns out, it was just a reveal for Street Fighter 6. Now let me just say, before I go into a mini rant, is I am a Street Fighter fan, but I feel like overhyping your fans to wait an entire week just for a 40-second teaser that they could have easily put on YouTube is a complete waste of our time. See, a lot of Resident Evil fans are upset because it had nothing to do with Resident Evil, but you gotta remember, Capcom doesn't just make Resident Evil games, they also have other franchises, you know, Monster Hunter, Mega Man, Street Fighter. But at the same time, I feel like even if you're a Street Fighter fan, there's no way you can't be disappointed. Like, sure, it's pretty exciting that we're getting a new Street Fighter in the RE engine, but waiting an entire week and then staying up all morning, because if you actually watched it, you would know that the timer was actually delayed. They didn't reveal it until like after 30 minutes when the timer was up. So we had to stay up all morning just for a 40-second teaser that they could have announced in a tweet or put on YouTube. And so because of that, I feel like a lot of RE fans are very upset, and specifically Capcom fans in general. But that is why today, what I have done is I've done a ton of research into the Capcom history on when they've announced past Resident Evil games. And I've made this little chart right here. And even though it's blurred out right now, what I'm going to do is throughout this video, I'm going to break it down and basically show you guys when we can expect the next Resident Evil game. But even though this video right here is pure speculation, I've actually done a ton of research. So please bear with me, because even though I am a fan that is speculating, I don't just speculate just to speculate. I like to speculate when I have at least a little bit of evidence that kind of makes sense. And based on what Capcom has been doing recently with things like, you know, these reveals and the RE portal, I feel like we're definitely going to get something in the next few months. So be sure to stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. But as always, before we get started, a big thumbs up is greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so the first section of my little chart that I made here, it took me like 5 hours to make this. I'm joking, it took me like 5 minutes. But basically the first little section says March to June. Now basically in the next few months, which is March to June, I believe that we can expect an announcement for the Resident Evil 8 DLC and REverse. Now the reason why I say this is because Resident Evil DLC usually takes roughly 11 months to make, and Capcom didn't start working on DLC for Village until after the game came out, and it's almost been about a year until Village's release. And one of the biggest things that a lot of Resident Evil fans wanted is for a lot of that concept art from Village to actually become a thing, because if you've played Village and if you've looked at the concept art, a lot of it looks really cool, and Capcom has been taking feedback from that from fans. So I feel like without a doubt the DLC is going to have something to do with the cut content from the game. They might bring back Ada, they might bring back a lot of the monsters and creatures that they showed in the concept art that wasn't in the final game. So if you think about it, logically, they already have a lot of the assets and a lot of the design choices and artwork. So I feel like the DLC, if anything, should almost be done. And on top of that, it's been a little less than a year since REverse was delayed, and that's like a small little multiplayer game. So I feel like if anything, they're going to announce REverse with the RE8 DLC. Now to further back this up, basically there have been rumors that a new PlayStation event is going to occur next month. And as you guys may know, Resident Evil games usually get announced during PlayStation events. Usually. 2 years ago, Village got announced during the PlayStation State of Play, so I feel like if anything, if that PlayStation event does happen next month, that is most likely when we're going to get something Resident Evil related, and there's no way that they're going to announce the RE4 remake before the RE8 DLC. Which brings me to my next point. So the next little section on this chart is May to December. So I feel like between the months of May and December, that is when we're going to hear an announcement from the RE4 remake. And in addition, as you can see, I've also put an early 2023 release. Now, even though that's unconfirmed, I feel like a lot of you guys can agree with me on this, that I feel like if anything, if the game does get announced this year, no matter what, I do 100%, and I'm so confident in my answer, that the game is going to announce early 2023. And as I said, there is no way that they're going to announce the RE4 remake before the RE8 DLC. So I feel like if there's a PlayStation event next month, that's when we're going to hear an announcement from something, and then later in the year we're going to get an announcement from the RE4 remake. So if you ask me, I feel like our biggest lead right now is that PlayStation event that's going to happen next month. I feel like with that lining up with other rumors about, you know, RE4 remake being announced soon and RE8 DLC and Reverse, I feel like if you line everything up, that is probably, if anything, when we're going to get the next Resident Evil related announcement. So what do you guys think? When do you guys think we're getting any of these games? Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree? Be sure to let me know down below. But with that being said, a big thumbs up is greatly appreciated, and as always, I will catch you all in tomorrow's video, and peace out.